With heavy rains, the devastating floods is wreaking havoc across Assam and other parts of northeast India. As of today, over 4 lakh people have been affected across 20 districts, with Kachar and Sribhumi among the worst hit areas. The death toll has risen to at least 10 due to flooding and landslides. The Brahmaputra River continues to flow above the danger mark in several locations, including Dibrugarh and Nimati-Ghat, while its tributaries like the Dhansiri and Kopili are also swelling. Silchar, the second largest city of Assam, on June 1st received a staggering 415.8 millimeter rainfall in 24 hours, the highest in a day since 1893, breaking a 132-year-old record. The Indian Air Force has been deployed for rescue operations, airlifting stranded individuals from flood-hit areas. Relief camps have been set up, providing shelter to over 10,000 displaced residents. To get more details on this, we'll be joined by our correspondent from Assam, Anirudh Lashkar. Hello, Anirudh. Can you hear me?
Yes, yeah, totally.
Right, Anirudh, to begin with, may I ask where you are currently reporting from and whether you are in a safe location? And could you also share the latest updates on the ground situation, particularly from some of the worst affected areas like Kachar and Silchar?
Yeah, so right now I am in Kachar district and in fact in Silchar town itself. And the Barak River, which starts from Manipur, which is upstream and following through Lakhipur, crosses the Silchar town and ends up in Katigora. From Katigora, it enters Bangladesh. So the flood situation, as you have just mentioned, on 1st June itself, 450 millimeters of rainfall, a record for the first time in 132 years. The entire day it rained and it didn't stop. And that not only it has affected the region, the rainwaters have entered the town, the city of Silchar. Many areas are submerged and there is no way out because the Barak River has also risen way above the danger mark. The danger mark along Silchar city in Barak River is 19.83 meters, and as of now it is flowing above 21.31 meters, almost 1.5 meters more than the danger mark. So the situation is quite grim, as the rescue operations have been started and the development minister of Barak Valley, Kaushik Rai, he himself visited many parts of the this Kachar district itself and also inspected the relief camps as to see how the relief operations are going on. Ato.
Right. Anirudh, like you have mentioned, rescue operations has begun. So what is the current status of the rescue and relief operations, especially in areas where Air Force assistance was required? Could you please give us more details on that?
Yeah, that's true. In fact, in Kachar district, the Air Force in 2022, we have seen Indian Air Force has to be put into service. But in Kachar district, it's not the situation. In Arunachal Pradesh, they had to airlift around 14 people and rescue them. That situation has not arisen out in Kachar district as of now, but people are stranded in various parts, not only in Kachar district, it's neighboring Sribhumi and Hailakandi districts too. In Sribhumi, River Singla and River Longai, they have breached embankments. Yesterday, in 4 places, they have breached embankments, for which the plight of the people is quite grim right now because our water is entering those villages. Rescue operation has been started because from Sribhumi district, Minister Krishnadupal hails from that place itself, and he himself is monitoring the situation out there as of now. Ato.
Right. Keeping into account of the current situation, Anirudh, may I also know if schools and colleges and also workplaces have been shut down for or called off as of now, or what is the update on that as well?
Yes, in fact, the district administration has already given a notification for closure of all the schools for the next 2 days. On 2nd, that is today and tomorrow, there will be a closure of schools, and that has to be increased. So, because you see this relief operations and the people are coming out of their houses which are flooded and they are entering the schools. In fact, Minister Kaushik Rai, who himself visited one relief camp yesterday, was also flooded. But there is still a possibility to go to even higher places where are, like Gurucharan College of Silchar and the Central School, which are in a bit higher places. And those places are being identified right now as to put this relief operation, put these people to come and have a stay till the flood situation improves. But the weather forecast is quite grim as of now. Rain has halted in this region, but clouds are still hovering. As the forecast says that the weather might improve after Thursday or Friday. There will be sunshine beginning tomorrow or the after tomorrow, and by Friday the things should be within a normal situation right out here in Barak Valley. But as of in other parts of Assam, like in Dibrugarh is also very affected, as well as in Karbi Anglong, Lakhimpur itself, where the dam, NIPCO dam, had to release water, excessively release, they had to release water, which many people are blaming, but there is no way out in order to tame the situation and a natural calamity like this also.
Right, also, Anirudh, may I also know if flights have been cancelled or even other travel advisories have been issued out there?
Yes, that's very correct. Basically, in Barak Valley is situated in a place in South Assam that gets connected. That also connects Tripura and Mizoram to rest of India. They have to travel either via Meghalaya or via Dima Hasao. In Meghalaya, in Kuliang, a place is there where there was a landslide yesterday evening yesterday morning itself, and the whole throughout the day there was a traffic blockade and heavy machinery had to be put in to clear the road. 6 hours they were stranded. Eventually it has been cleared, but if it rains once again, that road also will get closed. In Dima Hasao, the same situation has arisen out there, because in Dima Hasao, that the Mahasadak, that the Golden Quadrilateral Road that connects Silchar to Saurashtra via Haflong, that also is flooded in some areas, and the situation is quite grim. The railway tracks, yesterday itself, in many places, the railway tracks between Jatinga and Mahor, there were waters on the railway tracks. Though many passenger trains have been cancelled, but long distance trains are going through that route, but at a very slow pace.
Right, okay. Anirudh, you have mentioned about relief camps also. May I also know if you could give us some details on how many relief camps approximately have been set up and where?
Relief camps, as of now, the district administration is quite heavily paced. You know, the numbers are increasing because the water level is not decreasing and it's rising. Though the amount of water that is rising in Barak Valley itself was around 20 to 25 millimeters per hour yesterday. But that has decreased down to 2 to 3 centimeters, 2 to 3 centimeters per hour today. So the numbers are, the more the number of people coming, the more the number of relief camps would be opened up. But as of now, in throughout the city, as many schools are possible, the people are coming, they are staying there. In those places where they stay in low-lying areas have been not only due to the floodwaters of Barak River, but also due to the rain that has accumulated, that has been raining for the past 4-5 days. And that is the reason why the relief camps are getting filled up slowly.
Right. Anirudh, we have been receiving alarming updates about the loss of lives due to ongoing floods. Can you confirm the latest official death toll, and additionally, how are authorities managing recovery operations and providing medical assistance to the affected? And also,
exactly,
if I have to add on, could you provide us with a more detailed breakdown of the casualties? How many casualties were reported where?
Yes, so in fact, in Assam, the number of casualties, in some places they are saying it's 10, but it's 11 as of now. Okay. The official figure is 11. 6 due to landslides have died in Kamrup district itself, and then the rest 5 due to floodwaters. 1 in Lakhimpur, 2 in Golaghat, 1 in Sribhumi, and 1 in Kachar. In fact, in Sribhumi, the incident occurred yesterday morning itself, and in Kachar yesterday evening, where a small 6-year-old child, he was playing, and the floodwaters were very close to his house only. And he was playing there, and he slipped and he fell into those floodwaters. So the floodwaters have a very strong current, and it is very tough to rescue anybody if one falls into it. And the current of the floods pulls the person inside it. And that is the reason why that 6-year-old, when he fell down, he was unable, nobody was unable to trace where he was. Only after 1.5 hours, youth from that place saw somebody floating, and when they brought him out, they found him dead. That is the situation as of now in Kachar and the whole of Assam. In 3 places, basically, it's the worst affected: Dibrugarh, Karbi Anglong, Lakhimpur, and Kachar district. But in all 19 districts of Assam are affected as of now due to floods, and more close to 3,64,000 people have been affected, and the death toll is 11.
Right, Anirudh, may I also know about Silchar Mosi, about the Barak River? Is it over danger mark, or what is the situation out there as well?
Yes, that's what I said. So that the Barak River, which it originates from Manipur hills and flows down and goes to Bangladesh. But from Manipur, it's not raining right now in Barak Valley, but it's still raining in the hills. Even if the sun comes out and if it rains in Manipur, the water level will keep on rising, because that is from upper stream to downstream it will go, and the current is very high, and that is the reason why the water level when it crosses Silchar city, the water mark, the danger level mark is 19.83 meters, and in 19.83 meters, it crossed the danger mark yesterday morning at 9 a.m. It was 19.89 meters yesterday morning, but today at 9 a.m., a day later, exactly after 24 hours, it is at 21.31 meters, which is exactly 1.5 meters it has increased in the last 24 hours. If that trend goes, it was rapidly rising yesterday, but it has decreased. The rate of increase in water level has decreased for the past 2-3 hours because it's not raining, and that is the reason why it is just rising around 2 centimeters per hour. But the situation is still grim.
So, Anirudh, has there been any new directive or update from the Assam government or the central authorities following Home Minister Amit Shah's intervention?
Yes, there is a clear-cut message that relief operations has to be in a very smooth and orderly manner. In fact, so I personally visited some of the relief camps yesterday when the people were entering and they were looking for some place for shelter. And there were clear-cut arrangements where there was a coordinator who was sitting, and there were food arrangements were already being made for them. Not only that, a health team was already in place to check whether what are the health conditions, is anybody affected or ill, because this sort of waterborne diseases brings in. There are many diseases attached to that, so those factors are there. And all those arrangements are being monitored. The Assam government is very clear about it. It is a perennial problem. Every year we get to see this, for which some arrangements are already in place. And the central ministry is also overlooking as to what steps the government of Assam is taking in this regard.
But Anirudh, just like you've just mentioned, this is the floods in Assam. It's not the first time. It keeps on happening every year, like you've mentioned. So, what has the government been doing to curb this issue so far?
Yeah, that is a very good question that you have asked. In fact, many people are still complaining as to why this problem still persists in Assam. It has been going on for years, and why the embankments are not, why the sluice gates are not in a proper order, why the embankments are not checked. In fact, many people, our politicians also, they keep on roaming. A few, today morning itself, the MP from West Bengal and a resident of Silchar, Sushmita, they visited one embankment site, and she saw the situation of that embankment. It is in a very precarious situation. It might break down any time, and she was saying that why before the rainfall or before the monsoons, the district administration or the state government didn't take steps to rectify these embankments. These are some very big questions that are being asked as to why, for example, the things that happened in Sribhumi, in Gandaimukh, there is a place for Gandaimukh. Last year itself, the same embankment was bridged, and this year also, it has that embankment has been bridged 2-3 days back. So these things are why it has not been properly maintained or repaired. These are questions people are asking before the government right now.
Right, again, Anirudh, moving on to rescue operations, what logistical challenges are authorities facing in reaching remote or cut-off areas, especially in Barak Valley and hill districts?
Yes, there are very, in some places, because the water, when it flows, the Barak River, it makes its own way, and some people are stranded, and you have to use boats to rescue all of them. SDRF and NDRF teams have been placed. They are in operating not only in the rural areas, even in some places within the Silchar city itself. It becomes very tough to reach those places. There are many bylanes where bigger vehicles cannot go and bring them out. So this NDRF and SDRF boats are already in place, operating to rescue all of them. Ato.
Right. Again, Anirudh, like I mentioned earlier, Silchar broke the rainfall this year. It broke the record of 132-year-old record of the highest rainfall. So with Silchar receiving record rainfall, how are local residents coping, especially in terms of food, water and electricity access?
Yeah, very good question you have asked, because the water level itself has risen in the lanes so high that the tap waters, that is a very essential key part of every resident, that itself has that is underwater right now. So that issue has been a perennial problem for this Barak Valley region and Silchar itself. In 2022, we have seen the entire city was blocked due to water for 15-20 days, and rescue operations, Indian Air Force had to be brought in to supply food from above. So these things are in place, and the district administration is very clear about it, that wherever there is a shortage of anything, things have to be put in and things have to be given to them in order to see to it that every people are safe and sound in this hour of need. Ato.
All right. Anirudh, before we wrap up, what can people outside the affected areas do right now? Are there any verified donation or volunteer channels you can share?
Yes. Another very good question you asked. In fact, not only the district administration, in 2022, we have seen many NGOs coming, and this time through social media and through any other platforms, they are informing, they are giving the toll-free numbers, they are giving the phone numbers to contact whosoever is facing any problem in any part of this valley or this town or these cities, so they can contact these numbers and they are willing to help. These NGOs have been a force in 2022 itself in helping the people to come out of this sort of situation. And this time too also they have agreed to help those who are in such need as of now. Ato.
All right. I think that's about all, Anirudh. Thank you so much for all of the updates and stay safe, Anirudh. Thank you so much. That was our correspondent from Assam, Anirudh, giving us an update on the Assam floods. According to the latest update, about 4 lakh people have been affected by the floods. When it comes to the death toll in Assam floods has risen to 11, 1 in Lakhimpur, 2 in Golaghat, 1 in Sribhumi, 1 in Kachar and 6 due to landslides in Kamrup districts. That's all the update that we have right now. This is a developing story, so keep connected to us for more updates.